There's a version of the Barndominium that most people completely overlook. No complex rooflines, no multi-wing geometry, no elaborate junction conditions, just round steel tube columns, spaced at the perimeter, supporting one continuous single-slope roof plane, and a floor plan that's completely free of every constraint that conventional construction imposes on how you live. The tube-leg single-slope Barndominium. It looks deceptively simple, and that simplicity is doing more structural and spatial work than most complex designs manage to achieve. Here's exactly why. If you want the design concepts that prove simple is smarter, subscribe to Barndominium Haven right now. Hit the bell. Stay till the cost section, because the tube-leg system's economics in 2026 make an argument for simplicity that's genuinely hard to argue with. Let me define this precisely, because tube-leg gets used loosely in the metal building world, and I want to be specific. A tube-leg Barndominium uses hollow structural steel tubes, typically square or round HSS sections, as the primary vertical support columns. Not wide flange I-beams, not tapered rigid frame columns. Square or round hollow structural sections. The difference matters. A wide flange column, the standard Barndominium frame element, has flanges projecting from a central web. It's deep in the direction of its strong axis. It's not particularly elegant at the base where it meets the floor. A round or square HSS tube column is the same dimension in every direction. No flanges, no web. One continuous curved or square profile from base plate to beam connection. Visually, a round tube column at 6 inches in diameter disappears in a space. It reads as a pole. A precise, minimal, industrial pole. Not as a structural member trying to carry a roof. And structurally, a round HSS column resists lateral load equally in every direction because it has no weak axis. In a single slope Barndominium, where the roof's asymmetric load tries to push the building laterally in the downslope direction, the tube column's equal direction resistance is genuinely advantageous over wide flange columns that prefer load in one direction. Round tube, equal resistance, minimal visual footprint. That's the tube leg system. The single slope roof, one continuous plane dropping in one direction, is the natural partner for the tube leg system. Here's why. A single slope roof generates a clean, predictable load path. Dead load, the weight of the roof itself, travels down the slope and resolves at the low eave. Wind load on the roof surface pushes the building laterally in one consistent direction. Both of those loads are well suited to the tube column's equal direction resistance, and the single slope roof creates a ceiling that rises from the low wall to the high wall, which means the tube columns at the high wall end are taller than at the low wall end. That height difference, if exposed on the interior, creates a spatial gradient from one end of the building to the other. The room gets taller as you move toward the high wall, and that gradient, without a single partition wall, without a single design decision beyond the roof pitch, organizes the floor plan. Taller end, social. Lower end, private. The tube columns at the tall end read as a forest of precise poles in the most dramatic section of the building. The tube columns at the short end barely register, because the lower ceiling compresses the space and the eye focuses on the floor level. Two spatial characters, one roof, one floor, no walls. Here's what the tube leg single slope system produces inside, and why it's different from any other Barndominium configuration at equivalent cost. The exposed tube columns, spaced at 8 to 12 foot intervals around the perimeter, create a rhythm. Not a random rhythm. A precise, industrial, deliberately spaced rhythm. Walking along the interior perimeter of a tube-leg barndominium, you move from column to column, each one framing a panel of wall or glazing between it and the next. That rhythm, the repetition of the column interval, is the building's interior texture. It gives the space a scale reference that open-plan barndominiums often lack. Without the tube columns, a 40 by 60 foot open barndominium interior can feel unresolved, too large, too undifferentiated. With the tube columns at regular intervals, the space has rhythm, scale, and order. Without a single partition wall, and the tube columns at the high wall end, where the single slope roof is at its peak, rising to 16, 18, 20 feet, become sculptural elements. Not structure you're trying to hide, structure you're designing around. I've seen furniture placement in tube-leg barndominiums that used the column spacing as the organizing grid. Sofa between columns 2 and 4, dining table centered on column 6, kitchen island running column to column. The structure becomes the furniture plan. That's not a problem, that's design. My favorite feature: the column base detail. Here's what I mean. In a standard barndominium, the base plate where the column meets the floor is a functional detail. A steel plate, anchor bolts, usually covered by a piece of trim, or just left exposed as an industrial necessity. In a tube-leg barndominium, the base plate is a design opportunity. A round HSS column, 6 to 8 inches in diameter, sitting on a 12 by 12 inch polished steel base plate, bolted to a polished concrete floor, is one of the most satisfying construction details in residential design. The geometry is perfect. The circle on the square, the column rising from the plate like it grew there, and on a polished concrete floor, where the base plate's reflection is visible in the floor surface below it. That detail becomes the best thing in the room. It costs exactly as much as the standard base plate. The only difference is the floor finish, sealed and polished concrete, instead of stained or painted, which reflects the detail instead of absorbing it. Get the floor polished. Let the base plates do what they do. The mistake: cladding the tube columns. Here's what happens. Someone builds the tube leg system, round HSS columns, beautiful base plates, industrial precision, and then decides to wrap each column in drywall or timber cladding or some other finish material, because they think the raw steel looks unfinished, and they end up with fat rectangular columns that read as walls they forgot to connect. The whole point of the tube column is its minimal profile, its round or square precision, its industrial honesty. Wrapping it in drywall turns a 6-inch diameter steel column into a 12 by 12 drywall box. It doubles the visual footprint. It destroys the rhythm. It turns a sculptural element into a spatial obstacle. Don't clad them. If raw steel makes you nervous, a single coat of a high-quality matte black or dark charcoal industrial paint, oil-based, durable, applied to the clean steel, is all the column needs. That paint makes it intentional, makes it chosen, makes it designed. Not industrial by accident, industrial by decision. That's the difference. Real numbers. 2026 mid-cost markets. Tube-leg single-slope barndominium. 40 feet wide, 60 feet deep. 2,400 square feet. Round HSS columns, at 10-foot spacing. Single-slope roof, from 16 feet at the high wall to 10 feet at the low wall. Open plan interior, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, kitchen and living. Tube-leg steel frame, HSS round columns, ridge beam, purlins, single-slope roofing system, $32,000 to $48,000. The tube-leg system costs approximately 8 to 15% more than a standard tapered rigid frame of equivalent span, because HSS sections are priced per pound and round tube uses more material than a tapered wide flange at equivalent load capacity. The premium is real. The visual and spatial payoff is worth it. Structural engineering, $3,500 to $6,000. Foundation, concrete slab, polished finish, $14,000 to $20,000. Polish the slab. It's the base plate's partner. Don't pour a slab and leave it raw. Polishing adds approximately $3 to $5 per square foot to the slab cost. On a 2,400 square foot floor, $7,200 to $12,000. Worth every dollar. Closed cell spray foam, $22,000 to $32,000. High wall glazing, floor to ceiling at the high wall end. The building's primary light face, $14,000 to $22,000. Plumbing, $10,000 to $15,000. Electrical, $8,500 to $13,000. HVAC, 2-zone mini-split, $6,500. Septic, $9,000 to $13,500. Well, $8,500. Windows and doors, $6,000 to $9,500. Interior finishes, partition walls for bedrooms and bathrooms, kitchen-bathroom finishes, $18,000 to $28,000. Column baseplate paint finish, matte black or charcoal, all exposed columns, $800 to $1,500. Cheapest line item on the whole list. Biggest visual return, contingency, 15%, $21,000 to $33,000. Total realistic build cost, $173,800 to $263,500. Fully finished. Mid-cost U.S. market, 2026. Per square foot, approximately $72 to $110. That's competitive with any standard rectangular barndominium of equivalent square footage. With the tube leg premium, offset by the single slope's simplified roofline cost. No ridge beam, no valley conditions, no complex junction details. The single slope saves money on structural complexity. The tube leg spends some of it back on column material. They roughly cancel out. And what you're left with is a building that costs the same as a standard barndominium and looks like something an architect designed. Here's the honest case for the tube leg single slope barndominium. It's not trying to be complicated. It's not trying to be the most technically sophisticated alternative residential configuration available. It's trying to be one thing well, a simple structural system, executed precisely, with the exposed structure doing the architectural work that partitions and finishes would otherwise have to do. Round tube columns at regular intervals. Single slope roof, creating a spatial gradient. Polished concrete floor, reflecting the base plate details. High wall glazing, bringing light into the tallest section. 4 decisions, 1 complete design. And in 2026, when the most interesting residential architecture is coming from people who figured out that the best design isn't the most complex, the tube leg single slope is the barndominium that proves the point. Subscribe to Barndominium Haven. Tell me in the comments, high wall or low wall, which end would your social space be in? I want to know, and I'll see you in the next one.